Welcome back to Humber Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. With me. Is that what you're going for?
No, I was mocking you.
Oh, okay.
I'm Porter, by the way. Wouldn't be a Humber. Also, I know we had a little hiccup with the stream. I mean, wouldn't be a Humber Pie stream without immense technical difficulties.
Right? It seems like the theme we have going for us on this stream so often. Guys, we got some fun content that we're now actually officially into the championship series, which is going to be funny because the other VOD got quit where there was literally no content for the championship series. But on YouTube, where that VOD sits right now, it'll have some content that we had some stuff that was in preparation for it. But thank you guys for coming back. If you came back, I really appreciate you hitting that refresh button. If you're out there on the YouTube land, please just comment. Give us something so we know you're out there, because you guys can all win and have a chance to win one of these 2 packs that we're giving away at the end of the stream. EBO2, no hit's been pulled from this community box just yet. We're going to hopefully find one tonight and see if someone's going to go home with that. Of course, with the obligatory rigged in the chat once we find out who's going to be up here. But for right now, we have our first match. It's going to be Porter versus Slacktide on 2 very, very fun decks. And I'm going to get the new predictions out here. This is... no, this is... Goofy. We got a new matchup. Let's see, the current MVP. Did you decide that you're going to kind of concede this, or are you going to come in with some dedicated good practice for the actual event?
Like this event that we were doing?
Yeah.
No. I want to get to 30 points because I think it would be funny.
Let's see. I don't know. I've had more creative predictions.
Yes,
but
you have.
there we go. The predictions are out there. Let me know what you guys think. Let's maybe get some of those points back here. We have 2 different decks. It's black, purple, Luffy, a deck that he's been absolutely championing and adding some of the new starter deck cards I can't wait to talk about. Against a chance it was the new starter deck cards with the Shanks.
Yeah.
A lot of people trying some of the new stuff. They want to see what works, what got powered up, and we're going to find out firsthand whether these things are going to have that great of an impact. I got to tell you, as far as the buggy's concerned, I think it's having a big impact. But let's see in this deck structure. Tell me about it, Porter. Are the new cards making a big impact?
Okay, so we'll just go over the leader quickly. Dawn times 1, +1 cost all your characters. Your turn, once per turn. 2 or more Dawn cards are returned. Just add 1 active, add 1 rested. So easy ramp back. Also basically a restand if you play your cards right. Very strong leader effect. So the new cards are the Robin. Dawn -2, add a Dawn card with leader effect. This is basically ramp. It does similar stuff to the Zoro, except Zoro slightly more versatile because you can return 1 to just restand 1 with the Zoro instead of a more Dawn. Give a Straw Hat Crew leader base 7k power till the end of your opponent's next turn.
Yeah, a lot of these cards give him base 7,000 power, which is kind of helping for that blue-purple matchup.
Yeah, very important. This is actually very good for the blue-purple because blue-purple doesn't always have the Dawn to allocate to their leader to swing into you then, meaning that because they want to be playing the Sanji into something else, and then they want to be leaving up the 1 for Gum Gum Giant, which if you somehow don't know what the card does, counter, Dawn -2, trash 1 from your hand, plus 4k to Straw Hat Crew leader, and...
Draw 2 cards.
Or it's any leader character, it's just locked to Straw Hat Crew. Then another new card that's very strong is Soba Mask. If you have a Sangoro or Sanji with 7k base power or more, -5 cost to this card, so it becomes a 2 cost, and on play returns your Sangoro and Sanji characters to your hand, which is actually pretty decent because what you can do is Sanji, swing in, play Soba Mask, play back out the Sanji Edo's Rush, so you get to swing again. We have this card, which is very important, a very important finisher for the deck. If your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn on the field, this card gains Rush. On attack, return 2 active. Very important that distinction for the active. To restand this card, then add Tucker Life to your hand. Very similar to Hody Jones in that regard. But very good as just a rush guy that swings twice. There is a bit of risk reward to it. I did lose my third round because I went for this instead of going for a safer play and taking the life. I would have survived if I had taken... If I had just gone for a safer play and gone for a more secure lethal on the next turn, but I tried to go for the immediate game and got punished.
Lotus D. Long, I appreciate you very much. Thanks for the YouTube comment. And you're now in the running for one of the free packs.
Another card. I don't like this card a lot, but it is pretty solid into the current meta. Top Knot. It's not searchable, but Don -2. Obviously, that's fine with it later. Bottom deck 4 cost. This is mainly for... In blue-purple, it's good against Bon Clay and Zorojuro. In Shanks, this is good against bottom decking your opponent's Lucky Ruse. This is also an out to Burgess for the Blackbeard matchup. So it just outs a lot of sticky things that would otherwise be kind of difficult for this deck to deal with in a reasonable way. But it's not a great card. This is something I wish I could cut from the new like, the starter deck had a better replacement for this, but there is an in-theme one with Gum Gum Lightning, but that KOs instead of bottom decks, which is really...
a big difference.
Yeah, no. I only play this because it bottom decks instead of KOs. And other cards is this Luffy. You've seen this in blue-purple. This Frankie is good, just Don -2, trash 1, draw 2. On a blocker. This Sanji, if you have 6 or more, so if you put a Dawn on leader or something, this fulfills its own condition, KO of 5 or less.
And you get bounced back with Soba Mask, which is actually pretty devastating. If you're trying to deal with a wide board like
yes,
we
but
just
it does
saw.
not fulfill the cost reduction on Soba Mask. Because it's 6 power. And then we have the turn skip Luffy to just close out games. Realistically, I personally think that this should be a one of and play one more of this 6 cost Luffy. Because this is a bit more immediate pressure. Whereas this is really only good for closing out games. But this card is really expensive.
Yeah. Which makes sense. This is that's the EB, right?
Yeah, that's the EBO2.
All right, and now up against the Shanks deck using some of the new cards and some of the old cards. We got ourselves some Marco in this one. We're going to try it out because it's once per turn KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. So trying some cost reduction KO with the Marco here. On KO, you may trash one event from your hand and play this character from your trash rested. There's a few. Not a lot for this type of Marco recovery here, but there is an option and capability of bringing this Marco back. We do have one Yasop in here just to counter out with his amazing ability to get your leader at 6k power, which is kind of becoming more and more of a must with the growing format. Giving yourself the leader at 6k power is kind of important, especially if you're going to play against 6k leader and that -1. Not going to be negating any effects anymore. All right, we got this new Uda card. If you have this character with 10,000 power more, get this card's hand cost -4, so it's going to be 2 for a 4k blocker. If you have, of course, the Shanks out here. And we're trying out the new Shanks. So, if your opponent has a character with 8,000 base power or more, give this card a -3 cost, so a 6 cost. On play, if your leader has a red-haired pirates type, or is Uda, your leader gains plus 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So along with Yasop, we also have this ability to drop this awesome 9-drop that'll give your leader a base 7,000 power, or just 7,000 powers, essentially making the cost reduction and the ability of the Shanks actually quite impactful for these matches. This, I think, a really great card. The problem I have with this one is how it plays with our top end here. Really difficult to determine what you're willing to cut, especially no counter in this. You have the 10 cost, which is already a phenomenal rush card that puts a oppressive 1k down all your opponent's characters and does stack. And it's a great 10 drop. However, this 9 does fit well with the 1 cost Divine Departure, and it does do some pretty
ideally you're not spending 9 done for it, you're spending 6 with the effect.
Yeah. So 6, and then with the Uda here to play the full 10 if you want to do that for the turn. Maybe even a Lucky Roo here if you want to block out Wall Up, or even the Totoi Chopper, which is arguably one of the better cards that's been printed a long time. This one, of course, becomes 6,000 power in your opponent's turn, and has 2k. So you have yourself a 6k blocker, or a 2k in hand, which is kind of important for this defensive side of the necessary side of the deck. Of course, you got the removals like Ben Beckman, Silver's Rayleigh, and maybe a KO from Lucky Roo to get rid of some cards here. Little step away from our control builds we've seen before. This one more on kind of the beat down, rush down. Does have to play the Bad Manners Kick Horse, as we said, because there's a lot of no counter on this deck. Maybe even a little bit light, especially if we're going to try the Marco out. But it looks like Slack-Tide just trying out some different cards, trying to utilize the new starter deck cards, and see if it's going to make that much of a dramatic change to the deck. And we're going to find out now. Between our two matches here, you guys put up your votes. Let me know who you think's going to win. Let's go Porter in round 1 versus Slack-Tide. In a breezy 13-minute match. And I'm actually going to skip a little bit. So, out of these starter decks here, what have you been most impressed by?
I mean, I think the buggy stuff is really solid. I think that a lot of the stuff for Black-Purple is really good. Again, I wish the Robin was mechanically unique, but it's still a decent card.
Mm-hmm.
And the Luffy is obviously great, and the Sova Mask is obviously great. The other two were terrible, but...
Well, they can't all be hits. I mean, it's a little...
I mean, the buggy one was pretty much all hits.
Yeah, fair. But that one also needed a lot of support, where Black-Purple actually had a decent deck going into this thing. Just got kind of like up-powered. And even Shanks, which was...
The Shanks deck doesn't have a lot that's great for Shanks. It's mainly an RP Uda deck that they gave the Shanks leader.
So we get some nice new art for the Shanks, which I actually enjoy that alt-art leader that came in the deck. That was the only one I actually opened. Got a coveted leader pack out of my free... Oh, well, free. It's the included OP11 pack that comes with it. It was so amazing. Gotta love those leader packs. And no, I'm not talking about an alt-art leader. I'm talking about one of the ones that come with the Dom packs.
Oh, did you get a Dawn at least?
No, just leader.
Were your rares any good?
No. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm happy. I was more happy just to get the Shanks deck and then realize I need to get another Shanks deck so I can get the 4 copies.
I mean, you don't play the Uda, and you don't... Personally, I only like playing... I only like playing 2 of the 9-cost Shanks.
Okay. I was thinking about 4 just in case, because it's just one of those things where I don't know where I'm going to go with it. Obviously, being a red player, or red leader main, I'm going to have a lot of situations where I'm trying to figure out what I want to put in some of these decks, and I do want to have the options. Alright, 7k swing into Shanks. We'll see if we get a cost reduction at 2k on a hand. 39 says, Porter went all in. Help me, please.
We shall see.
Alright, let's see. Humro Pie is... Oh, that's a late... Stream Elements. Thank you, Stream Elements. See, Lucky Roo, great answer for the current board state. Pass him back.
Is it?
Alright, it gets rid of a body.
Does it? Is it going to? I'm tapping 2 Dawn.
Oh, we're gonna get a bottom net. Alright, Top Knot says no to Lucky Roo. That's why you play it, right? Perfect card for the counter.
It is really all it's good for.
And now we got a swing coming in from Nico Robin. Are we going to get a cost reduction and a swing, or are we actually going to get a life this time? Going to hit life. All right. And another 7k swing. Doesn't even have to play the new Luffy. He's getting 7/7s all the time.
I mean, if I played the new Luffy, it wouldn't do anything because he's not 5 Dawn yet.
Fair. I'm just meaning the plus 2k bonus here.
I wouldn't get the plus 2k bonus because he wouldn't be at enough Dawn.
I'm aware. I was making a cross comparison.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't need the card that does nothing on this game state, though.
7 in. Let's go. And now go to do some board cleanup here. Another 4. We're going to see a Lucky Roo. Or Tony Chopper. Another Lucky Roo. All right. Still trying to wall up into this
7
deck.
now, meaning that I have an out to it.
You got a lot of outspots for this one.
Actually, yeah. Pretty much anything I play at this point isn't really going to care about the Lucky Roo.
Yeah. We got the Sanji that you can do to rest it. You got
yeah
so many great answers for this board state.
Honestly, the 5-cost Sanji is the only thing that Lucky Roo would kill that I'd be playing out at this point. And I would not be playing that into this board state. Because I kill the Lucky Roo and the Lucky Roo kills it.
Yeah, right?
No reason to play that.
Absolutely bad move.
5 Dawn for a 1/1, or basically 6 Dawn for a 1/1 is not worth it.
Fair. Alright, here's 7. Are we going to get ourselves... Yeah, the rest in Sanji we just talked about. -2. Gonna reactivate. 1 rested, 1 active here. Here comes 7. And we're going to see another 7k swing from leader. So many 7k swings. This one looks like it might get the leader effect and a 2k.
Yeah, we're lead 2k.
2k. There we go. And another 7 swing for leader. Can't use leader this time. Has to give up 2 cards or take another hit. He's taken a lot already in this early game. I'm beginning to wonder who's really the fast deck here. Because that's some impressive power you're putting out there, Porter.
I mean, this is a Rush deck.
Mm-hmm.
This is...
Purple Rush.
Yeah.
And another great answer for what's happening in this current meta. I think you were saying, have you tried this matchup against Blue-Purple?
This deck is usually actually favored against Blue-Purple from
Nice.
my testing.
Yeah.
Blue-Purple can sometimes just win, but it is like a deck that has a very solid Blue-Purple matchup.
Alright, 8 Dawn. Could go into Rayleigh, could go into Dragon. Does need to get some kind of board state going for himself here. Lucky Brood, really just a blocker at this point. As Porter's options are much, much higher. Here comes 5 into life. Alright, gets a hit. Here comes Dragon for the 8. Going in for 11. Into Sanji. We'll see if he defends. No open Dawn for Gum Gum Giant, so... Can 0 cost counter out of it. There we go.
Plus the 2K does it? Yep.
Yeah. Alright. Good plan, Porter here. Protecting the Sanji, recognizing the value of keeping this board state here. We'll see if he turns this turn into maybe a Rush Luffy into killing this dragon, if possible. Not easy against the Shanks deck, who does have the ability to reduce the attack by 1 day. Once per turn.
Rush Luffy would still kill because it's a 10k power.
Yeah, 9/9, but with 5 cards in hand, it's going to be a lot harder.
I mean, it shanks it. Like, most of those are bricks.
Yeah, that's fair. It's very fair. Alright, big load up here. It looks like we're going into life here.
It's just
9.
another brick in
No.
the deck.
That's clever. Alright, Slack Tie, gonna use a block. Here comes Big Swing. 9k again at life here. Making that cost reduction almost meaningless here. Slack Tie gonna force a take down to 1 life. We're gonna see a blocker. Yes, Frankie blocker.
Cycle some cards, and I'll have 1 up for Giant after.
Nice.
Because of how the
Leader
effect
build it.
works.
Yeah. Great. So, ramping out like crazy. Really putting an impressive board here, Porter. Back to Slack Tie. 10 Dawn turn. This is usually a turn you want to play Shanks, but not a very comfortable spot to put down Shanks. Needs to kind of wall up. We're at a 3-1 trade here, and Black Purple Luffy really has an impressive board state.
I mean, it's 2 cards.
It's 2-1.
Yeah.
And 1 life to 3. Board state is impressive.
Yeah.
You are in a very comfortable position. You have a blocker, 3 life. He's got 1 attacker outside of his leader. So it's not looking comfortable. It's not a great turn for a Shanks play. We'll see what he wants to do for the turn. If I was him, I'd probably want to wall up, but we'll see what's in his hand. And even walling up, not the greatest option against this deck here. Too much cycling. Alright, here we go. And we got open 1 open, so Gum Gum Giant gonna save the Sanji.
Yep.
Discarding. Ooh, a 2k. That's devastating. When they're discarding 2k, so the discard?
It means I have a bunch of 2Ks in hand
Yeah.
already.
Just,
I also
okay.
discarded the 2K off of the Frankie.
That's true. Good grief. This man just flooded with some 2ks. Alright, Uda Surge. Alright, maybe find a blocker. Let's see. Hopefully, maybe an Uda. You can't get the Uda, can it?
No, because it's film.
Oh,
It's not searchable.
that's right.
If it was searchable, it would be a good card.
Why did they put film in the deck?
I mean,
Yeah.
because it's Film Red is like the one time Shanks actually did anything of substance in the story for the most part.
Fair. Grabbing his Shanks off the Uda, not the greatest, considering he's not going to be able to play it after playing the Uda here. Did get a life hit here from Porter, but Porter honestly just like, I'll take some resources.
Yeah.
Alright.
Lucky Roo.
Does have at least a blocker. Will this be a second blocker? Yasop. Okay. Not terrible. Setting up for another good turn, but also needs to survive this turn. Can Porter see the blood in the water? And Slacktide flailing his hand, saying, I got counters for days, I swear. I swear.
I literally saw him search a non-counter.
I got counters for days, folks. Counters for days. Let's see
Every
if it
card that
works.
you have ruffling in there is a 2K, so if that was the hand, that would be a bit more dangerous.
Yeah, right? That's true. Good call. I didn't even know that. All
Are
right.
some of those the expensive Usohachis? No, they're not.
No.
Okay.
I just wanted for the start deck.
The expensive one is the one from the starter deck. Not that one. That's the
No,
OP5
it's OPL5
one.
one. That's right.
It was reprinted in the starter deck, but no.
All right.
Just simple 7.
7 and a 6 gets a 2. Doesn't have to even use leader ability.
We're using 2 for.
And we top knot got rid of the lucky 2 lucky resist points. Insane.
Yep.
Here comes 7.
And asking for a 2K.
If he doesn't give it up, this Frankie is lethal. All right, using the ability and a 1K. Porter just gonna safely take its turn. Say, okay, fine. I don't need to beat you this turn, or maybe I do. Here comes 6.
Can't restand, but
okay.
Or 7 into 6. But I'm just. It's a rush. It's more pressure.
Sure. This one Sactite gonna have to take, which means he is now forced to have to try to play some type of offensive strategy to win this game, or maybe have to concede, because not in a great position when we know that Porter can drop 9K rushers like it's his job.
We do know he has 10 cost in hand.
So could answer some of the board state, but doesn't answer the blocker, the 2 life.
And if I have a 10 cost of my own, that's just the game.
It's just over. All right, 6
into life.
Okay. Just gonna take. Okay. Porter feeling very healthy here. Here comes 5. Just gets a simple 1 out of hand. Here comes 9. Will we get the block? Nope. This one gonna go after. Okay, and Gum Gum Giant. I forgot that was even open. There we go. Gum Gum Giant gonna keep Luffy alive. New fresh hand here. We'll see if he wants to drop the 10 cost to try to get rid of maybe Sanji or Luffy. But likely only going to need a block. As Frankie just definitely unlocking this thing in his favor.
Specifically why I saved the Frankie. Because now if he goes for board, I just block. If he goes for life, I block.
Yeah.
And the game's over next turn.
Yeah, he's got the block out. So, now, he does have a 1,000 power reduction. However, no life from Slacktide, 10 full dawn from Porter, and 3 strong bodies, a 6K,
Well, basically 2 6Ks and...
the leader at 5. The only known card taken a Slacktide's hand. Will Slacktide try to bluff some more 2Ks? Where we see another fan of some 2Ks? We'll see. Setting up the attacks. It looks like some basic 8K, 10K math? No, it's 11K.
Because I know I'm leaving at least 2
open for Gum Gum?
No, for 6 cost.
Okay. Because it does have to return after dawn. That's right. Yep. So, math trying to be calculated here. We got ourselves, looks like 2 underneath.
That's 1.
That's just 1. All right, 7K, so back at 7K.
And
oh, so many bricks. My man building a house over there, Slacktide. Woo! That is insane. Congratulations,
like
Porter.
I said, this is the Shanks experience.
Right? So many bricks. Didn't even get to play one of those new starter decks.
Because I never played anything with 8K or higher power.
Yeah. Were you doing that intentionally?
Not really. Oh, wow.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, wait. 39? You're welcome. Who's losing points here?
All right, let's find out. The summary says our winner points 39 Royale and Richie D. Luffy getting some massive points. Wow, that's a massive win for 39 Royale. That's an all-in if I've seen one. Infinite Rose at 16,000 points.
Marcus, you doubted me.
Marcus. Nobody.
I'm not that kind of person.
That's true. I'm good. GG indeed. Let's go. Let's get back to us real quick so I can get the board set up for our next round. Alrighty, that is a round. We're going to go into round 2. 2 new players are going to be playing this one. We got our second round. Probably going to be just quick here. This one's going to be Marcus versus Alright, we should have the sound back. That seems to be what worked last time.
Hello.
I'm going to try and set up these leaders while we figure out if we got our sound back. Let us know if you get us.
UP is...
There we go. And we're back. Good deal. Good deal.
Okay.
So, that's why we can't have nice things. Alright.
Make sure that's the right size.
Good call. Thank you for that. Good catch. You've got to be kidding me. Ugh. It does not want me to stream tonight, guys. It does not want to work.
What were you saying about you should be updating the computer as soon as possible to make sure that the kinks don't happen?
Yeah.
I feel like this is more than usual.
It's a lot more than usual. This is acting all kinds of fool. Like, I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs.
Because I usually hear wait a couple days for the
Almost got us
update
back.
because sometimes the updates are bugged.
Yeah, I think this one's pretty much bugged. It's like, this is... Is there... I really wish they had, like, a refresh button. Like, I could do a little refresh without having to, like, turn everything off and then back on again. Is there a refresh button that I'm missing on this thing? Let's see if I hit this button. Well, I'm going to hit this button. We're going to test to see if there's a refresh button. If it turns me off, just hit refresh. Has it been restarted?